So this is a sutra of Lord Gautama Buddha Shakyamuni, or the Buddha that is popular around the world. This is a sutra based on his story and how he came from heaven to achieve his enlightenment on this earth and how he overcame this demonic army, and he attained his complete enlightenment as a result of overcoming the total demonic army. So this sutra is called the Plain Full. So in this one, I want you to see the demonic army that Lord Gautama Buddha fought and overcame, and I want you to see how the demonic army is described in this sutra and how it matches up with all the celebrities that are demons and are glitching through the hologram and taking so many different forms. So that has been described in this particular sutra. He who is proud and arrogant does not have much acumen. If he is opposed to a shrewd person, he will not be able to think effectively. So if you're opposed to a smart person, you're not thinking effectively. Monks, Mara the evil one did not pay heed to Shratavaha's warning. Instead, he gathered all 4 divisions of his great and powerful army. It was a terrifying army, so brave in battle that it would make anyone's hair stand on end. Such an army had never been seen before or even heard of in the realms of gods and humans. The soldiers were able to transform their faces in trillion ways. On their arms, legs slithered hundreds of thousands of snakes, and in their heads they brandished swords, bows, arrows, darts, tridents, vajra spears. Some had their heads, hands, or feet turned backwards, or their eyes, faces backward. Their heads, eyes, and faces were ablaze. Their bellies, hands, and feet were deformed, and their faces were brimmed with vehement odor. Their mouths were protruding, ugly fangs appeared contoured in the extreme, and their thick and broad tongue, rough like a turtle's neck or a straw mat, dangled from their mouth. So all of this you can see through the hologram, or you can see the celebrities shape-shifting in these forms. And over here, when they say Mara, the evil one, this is the same as Satan, because Satan does the same thing. He has his terrifying army, or he has his great and powerful army, and he will unleash his army onto you. If you're a bodhisattva on your awakening path, he will unleash his army onto you, which are mainly the celebrities, politicians, and the telepathic forces that are constantly around and with us, especially if you are in your bodhisattva path and you are going to attain enlightenment, or you are going to rapture, or you're working for Christ and Father. He will unleash his great and powerful army. Like the eyes of a black snake, which are flushed with poison, the eyes were blazing red as if on fire. Some of them were vomiting poisonous snakes, while others, like Garudas emerging from the ocean, grasped these poisonous snakes in their hands and ate them. Some ate human flesh and drank blood, chewing on human arms, legs, heads, and livers, and slurping entrails, feces, and vomit. These terrifying bodies had many colors, such as brown, red, blue, black, and blazing yellow. Some had ugly, hollow eyes like wells. Others had eyes that were gouged out and were ablaze, or disfigured sockets. So you'll see this ugly, hollow eyes like wells. So that you will see the celebrities. You will see that disfigured eye socket. So these things are very common. They're like seen on the regular in celebrities. Some had ugly eyes rolling and blazing. Some carried flaming mountains in their hands while playfully riding on the mountains as their mount. Others ran towards the bodhisattva carrying trees that has been uprooted. So bodhisattva is Buddha before he attained his enlightenment. Some had ears like goats, demons, elephants, or pigs, or hanging ears. Others had no ears at all. Some had swollen bellies and weak bodies, with their bones sticking out. They had broken noses, bellies like barrels, and feet round as balls. Their skin, flesh, and blood had dried out, and their ears, noses, hands, and feet were or heads were cut off. So that you will see as well, these type of disfigurements you can see through the hologram in the celebrities. Some were so thirsty for blood that they would cut off each other's head. They would make snappy, ugly, terrifying, and rough sounds. Others would call, "Let's get rid of him. Grab that." Mendicant Gautama along with his tray. Grab that mendicant Gautama along with his tray. That's Buddha. Let's make sure that he is caught, cut, slashed, tied, held, harnessed, cut in pieces, gotten rid of, and destroyed. They were disfigured and caused terror with their awful faces of foxes, jackal, pigs, donkeys, oxen, elephants, horses, camels, wild asses, buffaloes, rabbits, yaks, rhinos, and the eight-legged lion beast. Some had animal bodies like lions, tigers, wild boars, bears, monkeys, elephants, cats, goats, sheep, snakes, mongoose, fish, crocodile, alligator, tortoise, ravens, vulture, owls, and garudas. So you will see the celebrity shape-shifting into all these different things. Some had misshapen forms, some had just one head, but others had two or more. Some had even up to 100 heads. Some had no head at all. Some had just one arm, while others had up to 100,000. Others had no arm. Some had just one leg, while others had up to 100,000. Others had no legs at all. Some had poisonous snakes emerging from their bodily aperture, eyes, mouth, noses, ears, and belly buttons. So this is an interesting sentencing. Some had poisonous snakes emerging from their bodily aperture. So bodily aperture is like, reminds me of shape-shifting or the hologram technology that they're using. So they can just emerge into these different forms and take these different forms. They threatened the bodhisattva as they danced around and brandished their many weapons such as swords, bows, arrows, darts, sharp weapons. Some of them wore garlands of human figures that they had cut off and strung together. Others wore on their heads bones, hands, and skulls, which they had strung together into garlands, and some had their bodies covered in poisonous snake. Some were holding skulls and rode elephants, horses, camels, and wild buffaloes. Some had their heads pointing down and feet up. Some had needle-like hair on their heads. Some had hair like oxen, donkeys, boars, mongoose, goats, sheep, cats, monkeys, wolves, or jackals. They were vomiting poisonous snakes, spitting out lumps of iron, spewing fire, and producing a rain of flaming iron and copper. They sent rains with thunder, released bolts of lightning. They caused a rain of hot iron sand, gathered black clouds, and made storms arise. They sent rain consisting of masses of arrows, bringing darkness and causing swishing sounds as they ran towards the Bodhisattva. So they were really attacking him with all that. They were attacking Lord Buddha while he was sitting under the tree about to attain his enlightenment. That's what they were doing to him. Some of the shoulders swung their lassos, destroyed great mountains, stirring the vast ocean, jumped over tall mountains, and shook Meru, the king of mountains. In this way they came running, throwing their limbs in the air and rocking their bodies, cried out in loud laughter, snapped and beat their chest, and disheveled their hair. Their faces were yellow, their bodies blue, their heads flaming with hair streaming upwards, running around impetuously, darting here and there. With eyes like a fox, they tried to frighten the Bodhisattva. So this description of the demons that we are seeing through the hologram, we are seeing celebrities and politicians and influencers shapeshift online, and we are like, oh, how can they have hooves at the same time they have reptilian tongue? How can they be reptilian and have hooves at the same time? So that's described here because they can take many forms, up to 100 forms, up to 1,000 forms as it has been described. So you might see hooves, and then you might see like bare hands and reptilian tongue. They can change into all of these different features, and they can have a combination of various features in various animals. So if we are trying to pinpoint like what demon is this celebrity, and are they reptilian or are they a cherubim, like we are trying to pinpoint them, but it looks like they can shape shift into many forms, and they do not have a singular form, that they are just demons, the army of the evil one, Mara or Satan, and they can change the form into anything. So over here it says like their legs are like legs of an antelope, their eyeballs are like monkeys, their fangs are like elephant. So it's like they are taking many forms at once. So that you will see glitch to the hologram, or when you see or watch them, observe them closely, you can see like the demons taking many forms. So it's not just one form, but they're taking many forms. And that is physically proven through all the videos that I have shared and all the videos that other people are giving testimony for. That is proven. So this form, that they are taking many forms at once, and it cannot be pinpointed into one animal or one demon, that has been physically proven through videos, the testimony of the demons that we are showing and given. So this is very unique, the Play in Full Sutra of Gautama Buddha. It's very unique in that context, that this level of demonic, authentic demonic description cannot be found anywhere except here. So as you can tell, Buddhism is not a religion just for Buddhists, but this kind of shape shifting we are seeing in the celebrities. And it is a common thing of our world or of this universe. And we have to see it that way and understand it that way, and not think Buddhism is just for Buddhists, but this knowledge is right now applicable during the disclosure season and the hologram glitches or the shape-shifting of the celebrities that we are seeing. So this knowledge is for everyone and not just for Buddhist. And this particular sutra, as I was reading it, I was able to understand some of the shape-shifting that I was seeing, whereas before I was like, how can they have hooves and then how can they have reptilian tongue? And I wasn't sure. And after I read the scripture, I realized that they can take any form. So this helped me really understand what I was seeing online among the celebrities and politicians. So this knowledge, the Play in Full, is for everyone, not just for Buddhists.